Hello, thinkers. In every story, good or bad to you, there is always a lesson to learn. If you pay attention, of course. Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus is not a comfortable play. It's brutal, excessive, and absolutely soaked in blood. Limbs are severed, children are murdered, revenge becomes a ritual, and mercy just completely disappears. A lot of people ask, why did Shakespeare go this far? But maybe there's a better question. What happens to human beings when justice is replaced by vengeance? That's the question Titus Andronicus forces us to face, and it remains disturbingly relevant today. At the center of the story is Titus, a Roman general who believes deeply in honor, duty, and tradition. He sacrifices the son of Tamora, the queen of the Goths, all in the name of Roman justice. He's convinced that law and order must be preserved, no matter the cost. But this one single act sets off a chain reaction of cruelty that consumes everyone involved. Psychologically, this is the first crack. Titus confuses being morally righteous with being morally superior. The moment a person believes they are unquestionably right, they give themselves permission to become cruel. This brings up a huge philosophical problem about evil. Is evil something we're born with, or is it something we grow into when our circumstances seem to justify it? Tamora starts out as a grieving mother. Aaron, who's often called purely evil, acts with this chilling self-awareness, but he thrives in a world that rewards manipulation. Shakespeare seems to suggest that evil doesn't just pop up in isolation. It feeds on pride, on revenge, on humiliation, and on the refusal to show mercy. From a psychological perspective, the play shows how trauma can radicalize the mind. When Titus's daughter Lavinia is brutally attacked and mutilated, language itself is taken from her. She becomes a symbol of what happens when violence strips a person of their very identity. Titus, unable to process his grief, descends into madness. But this madness isn't random, it's structured. It's his grief transforming into a pure, raw obsession. Modern psychology would recognize this as unresolved trauma, where pain demands an expression, and if it can't speak, it acts. And here lies one of the play's most disturbing lessons. Unprocessed suffering often just reproduces more suffering. Titus doesn't heal. He retaliates. He doesn't seek justice. He seeks symmetry, pain for pain, loss for loss. And in doing so, he becomes indistinguishable from the very people he condemns. The line between victim and perpetrator completely collapses. We see this pattern everywhere in modern life. Nations justify atrocities by pointing to past wrongs. Individuals excuse cruelty by citing their own personal trauma. Online outrage escalates into dehumanization. The logic is always the same. Because I was wronged, I am entitled to my revenge. Shakespeare asks us whether this logic ever leads to restoration, or if it only leads to endless cycles of destruction. The play also challenges the comforting belief that humans are naturally good. Titus Andronicus suggests something far more unsettling. That human beings are capable of extreme good and extreme evil, depending on which impulses our society rewards. Rome claims to be civilized, yet it becomes a theater of barbarism. Civilization, Shakespeare implies, isn't the absence of violence. It's the discipline of restraint. By the end of the play, almost everyone is dead. Justice has been performed, yet nothing is healed. The cost of revenge is total annihilation. Shakespeare leaves us with a grim question. If evil is answered with more evil, what exactly has been defeated? The modern lesson of Titus Andronicus isn't just about gore or shock value. It's about the moral danger of letting our pain define our ethics. When revenge replaces wisdom, when honor excludes compassion, and when justice abandons mercy, human beings don't rise, they regress. And perhaps the most haunting question the play leaves us with is this. When we justify our own cruelty as necessary, how different are we, really, from those we call monsters? Thanks for watching. If this made you think, consider subscribing for more content. See you next time. Keep thinking.